All right, hello from the Houston SWL channel. I have a unboxing video, not of a new radio, but a Eton E10 that you can see here that I got off of eBay a little while back. I'm gonna open it up and then talk a little bit about it, but let me focus in here. Here's a copy of the eBay ad that was for the radio. So it's the Eton, I think it's mislabeled. It should be Eton E10 AM/FM stereo radio with world band receiver, 200 memory presets. Described as used. They were asking $50 or best offer. Condition description said excellent working condition, but on the back the rubber is sticky. And describe some of the features. I guess here they have the correct E10 AM/FM shortwave headphone jack. Manufactured in China. So full description. They, I guess, just pulled some stuff probably off the internet that described the radio. But anyway, I guess some pictures here that were on the eBay. Nice picture of the box, and then back of the box here describing the E10. Open the box with the manual and whatever it comes with. I'll show you that when I open it up. Radio was wrapped in this clear paper. I guess that was the only picture of the radio. I was a little hesitant, but ended up buying it anyway. Here's, I guess they have a little reel, portable reel, power supply, earbuds. So I guess, the ad said it was sticky on the back, but I guess when I got it, it was actually sticky all over. It has a different coating than like you've seen videos of me posting about the Grundig G5, G3. It's not the rubber coating that's on there, but I guess I did go online and saw other people had some issues with the surface of this one as well, but it feels a lot smoother. But I did have to use the degreaser like I did on the Grundig G5, G3 radios to get whatever was on there off. But he was asking $50. I offered 30 and he took it, so I think he was just trying to get rid of it. So let me go to the unboxing. I can't remember, but I think this box was in another large box with some styrofoam. But you see the box looks like it's a little worn, discolored, but I guess the radio maybe came out around 2005, 10 years ago. So, it has a nice manual, E10 operation manual, has different languages inside here. The first one is in English, it's in French, Italian, some other languages, but the Grundig G5 has a similar manual, so that's pretty nice. The radio was inside this plastic. Took it out. You can see it actually looks pretty good. Surface is kind of worn in spots, but it's definitely not sticky like it was before. I mean, when you touched it, your hands were just all sticky, so I'm not exactly sure what kind of coating these came with. It's not the rubber, like I said, on the G5, G3, but seems like it had some kind of coating. So it cleaned up pretty nicely. That's the radio. Here's the cover. Pretty good shape. I mean, nothing spectacular about it, but I guess it'll protect the radio if you want to use it. The power supply charger there. And the kind of real antenna. I guess, a lot of the radios came with this, but you can see the Eton AN03 compact antenna for shortwave. It reels out and can reel it back in here. I actually haven't tried using this to see if it actually reels out at all. Seems a little stiff. Actually, I have several others. It's coming out. I have several others like this, so this is just kind of nice to have maybe a third one. And it comes with some earbuds that I don't like to use these type they don't fit in my ear canal. I like the over the ear ones, so that's what it came in. Kind of a nice box. All right, so here we go. Here's the Eton E10, and I did happen to find a review of this in Monitoring Times from June 2005. So let me pull that up. So here's a PDF online I found from, as you can see down here, June 2005 Monitoring Times magazine. So if you were shortwave listening back in the day, that was a pretty popular magazine. So this is written by Gail Van Horn. It's like a 2-page article. First one talks about Monitoring Times review, and then second page talks about the E10. So it says it's at the top here, it was a recently entry into Eton's new Elite series of portable digital radios, covers AM, FM, and shortwave, receives all 14 international shortwave bands, has a built-in telescopic antenna used for shortwave and FM, internal ferrite bar antennas used for the AM broadcast bands. Kind of neat thing, says has an external antenna jack, be used for FM with a long wire shortwave antenna. Various tuning modes, and these are similar to the other Grundig Eton radios. I'll go through those, but you can do a direct keypad entry. There's a scroll wheel on the side, as the up-down tuning buttons, and with those you can press it once and just move up and down in 5 kilohertz steps, or press the button and it'll automatically band scan until it finds a station and stop on it. I actually like that method of tuning and searching. Like I said, shortwave stations can be tuned to in 1 kilohertz or 5 kilohertz increments. Medium wave is selectable between 9 or 10, I guess depending on the region of the world that you live in. There's a bandwidth button, wide and narrow. And something maybe kind of unique on portable shortwave radios is a shortwave intermediate frequency set button, shortwave IF set button, which can shift the intermediate frequency to help minimize interference. So this is the first radio I've seen that on. It says for extra matching of the antenna to the radio, the E10 includes the antenna trimmer control knob that's on the side of the radio to optimize the model's telescopic antenna when listening to shortwave. An added feature is 10 pages of memory, each page holding 50 frequencies. I guess I never use the memory features on any of the radios that I have. I guess maybe just from back in the day when I started listening to shortwave, they didn't have any such thing as memory built into a radio. So I guess whenever I listen each day, it's kind of like, let me turn it on, do some scanning, and see what I can come across. And actually, if you listen regularly or listen for a while, you're actually start memorizing frequencies of a lot of the stations that you come across. So I know like WRMI is on 9455 kilohertz. I listen to that pretty regularly. You know, Radio Nacional de Amazonia is on 11780 kilohertz, and you know the WWVs on 5, 10, 15, and other frequencies there. So I guess just for me, I don't really use the memory feature, but if you like it, by all means, this has quite a few memories in the radio. A large backlit LCD display, I'll show you that. It's kind of an orange color. Signal strength meter indicated by a 5-level graph bar. Has a back stand. And it says the internal speaker provides a rich audio tone. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I like the speaker. It's a little bit bigger than the one on the G5 and G3, and I think it sounds good. So at least these portable Grundig Eton radios that I have, I think the speakers are pretty good. Like I said, it comes with the earbuds as well. I guess sort of the review from using it, it says had an above average radio with a dynamic range for low-end portable. Get this from scrolling. FM reception was exceptional, as well as medium wave from foreign stations in the Caribbean and Mexico. Shortwave reception among the international powerhouses and tropical band stations proved impressive for this portable radio, though not a DX machine. It proved impressive in monitoring stations with good to very good signal strengths at levels comparable to lower cost tabletop receiver. It has a 12 or 24-hour built-in clock, DX local switch that's on the side as well as a tone button. You know, like I mentioned earlier, FM shortwave external antenna jack, and looks like it came with 4 rechargeable batteries that I didn't get when I bought it off of eBay. Looks like you could charge those as well from the radio, similar like to the G5 and G3, but you know, I'm just using batteries. So it says, for the FM, AM, or shortwave listener seeking an affordable portable digital radio, the new E10 is just what you're looking for. Whether for travel, the office, bedside, or carry-along, this is a terrific radio. The complete product kit includes a protective case, wind-up antenna, owner's manual, 4 AA batteries, and product booklet. It says here it's available for $130 US. So again, this was written back in 2005, so that's what it was selling for back then. So yeah, I guess fairly favorable review. I guess it's not going to be a super sensitive DX machine, but I find it actually works pretty well. Like I said, I like the radio, but again, like used radios you may buy off of eBay or other places, it has some issues with it. You know, as I mentioned earlier, the case is real sticky, but that wasn't really a big deal. That cleaned up pretty easily. Looks like, I don't know if it fell, but if you, part of the case here will open up. So I don't know if someone had tried to take this apart earlier, or it had just been dropped and one of the snaps or whatever holds that part of the case had gotten broken. I guess plugging it in with the external antenna on you know, certain frequencies, you're going to hear some ghost images popping up. Sounds like some local AM radio stations, but doesn't seem to really impact the shortwave stations that are broadcasting. Usually it's on frequencies in between those, so it hasn't really been that big of a problem for me. And it looks like the wide narrow filter, I guess, has an issue on wide, but narrow is good, which is fine by me because I normally keep my radios on narrow anyway. So again, buying something used, you're gonna have probably some issues and it's not going to be perfect. So just kind of the layout of the radio here, that's a big kind of cool font there. Eton E10 has the 1 through 9 and 0 buttons, just like on the Grundig G5, G3, and other radios. I did videos on those, so you can check those out. So this has a lot of similarity to, I guess, a memory button for storing in memory, an enter button. These are the up-down arrow, seek, search buttons. Kind of a little different buttons, but the same functions as on the other Grundig G5, G3. I guess here you can select FM or AM with this button, and then shortwave, and you can keep pressing it to select the major shortwave bands. The power button is here, and then a lock button, and I guess timer AB buttons, light snooze button. So I guess that light is on. Yeah, it's just hard to see. But I think it's only going to stay on maybe 5 seconds or so. I can't remember exactly. It's just on batteries, but if you have it plugged in with the AC adapter, it will stay on all the time. You can select, I'll show you this when I turn it on, but fast, slow, or lock the tuning knob over here. Interesting feature, you can change the tuning mute. So like it will just scan like a regular analog radio, but it's a digital radio, so you can turn that on so you don't hear that chuffing sound. You can turn it off and on, which I thought is kind of interesting. There's a page button that's similar on the other Grundig portable. Scan mode. This is the AM/FM shortwave intermediate frequency set, and the bandwidth button used for bandwidth or FM stereo when you're in FM. So I guess the external antenna jack here, as it says again, for FM and shortwave, has the DX normal and local positions for the switch. So for more weaker, you want more sensitivity out of the radio, keep it in DX. That's where I normally do it. But if say a signal or station is overpowering the radio, you can set it to normal or local. This has interesting, it has a treble and bass switch. You can select bass or treble. And the headphone jack and the power jack down there. And on this other side, you got the tuning knob. It's the antenna trim that I talked about, and the volume knob is here on the side. So I think it's maybe around 7:30 in the evening. So let me turn this on and see what we get. So I guess just other thing to show you. So I guess with it powered off, I guess it's showing the UTC time there, and here this is showing the battery indicator. I just put some new batteries in it, so it's showing 5 bars. I guess over here says the battery signal symbol. So if I didn't have the AA batteries in, I guess this would be down at the 0 mark. So interesting, if like you just turn on a regular radio, you just press it quickly, it'll come on and it'll show you this number. So that just means that after 90 minutes, the radio is gonna shut off automatically by itself. And so you can change that and set it. It was originally set to 60. It can go up pretty high. So if you long press it, now it'll show on. So it's just like a regular radio. It's not going to cut off automatically. But if you power it off and back again, it's going to do the timer function. So it's on, and so I have it set to 9455 on the whip. Static interference going on here. From the light. Just noticing that in the other room too. So we've got some interference there. Let me turn the volume down. So this is kind of interesting, the way you can select frequencies on this. You know, you can use the up button, go in 5 kilohertz steps, or the down. You can use a tuning knob, and it's currently selected, it says slow in 1 kilohertz steps, but I can press it now fast now to go in 5 kilohertz steps. So this is kind of nice, selectable. This is the same thing as on the Eton Elite Executive, or if I hold it, now it shows a lock key, so when I turn it, it locks the tuning knob. So back again, so I'll keep it in slow for that. And now if you hold the button down, it'll scan and it'll stop when it finds a station. So that's similar to other Grundig portables like the G3 and G5 as well. So you can do that up or down. And let's see if it's gonna stop. There's not a whole lot on. Then the fourth method of tuning is just entering a frequency directly. But this is a little different than the G3 and G5 and like the Satellite 750, where normally you just punch in the frequency and then hit enter and it goes, whereas this one you have to hit enter first, then enter the frequency. So when I first got this radio, that kind of messed me up initially. So I'm not hearing much on there. So there could actually be a little problem with the whip, not as sensitive as it originally was, but I normally have an external antenna plugged in. So like I said, but with that, there's some kind of ghost images that pop up when you're scanning. Let me try Radio Nacional de Amazonia. So you can hear that in the background, just a lot of, I don't know if that's some kind of atmospheric noise or some noise source in the house or around the neighborhood. So down here is the bandwidth, so it's on narrow. See, when I hit wide, the signal audio just goes away. So there's some issue with that, but thankfully narrow works, and that's what I normally keep my radios in, so not a big deal. Let's see what else I can show you. So this is the button to go to FM or AM.
Our regulations
so it has a nice sound actually
monkeys
from the
for us, for public health, but they're far
local
worse
station,
in other countries.
KPFT
The
90.1.
photographic evidence and video evidence of what happens to monkeys overseas.
Then I press it again, it'll go to AM. It's another talk radio station, 740. So yeah, FM AM seem to work well. Then here is shortwave, and if I keep pressing it, it'll step through the major shortwave bands. So this is similar to the G5 and G3. Punch in Radio Nacional de Amazonia again. Like I said, this is the tuning knob, so I have it set to tuning 1 kilohertz steps. The antenna trim and the volume. Turn that down a little bit. And again here, the external antenna, I have it set to the DX position. So that's the basic features of the radio. Maybe I'll take this into the other room where I can hook it up to the external antenna and do a little more testing with it. Just let me do a quick compare with the Eton Elite Executive on the whip, and let's see how each is pulling in these two separate stations. So I'll be right back. Alright, let's compare the Eton E10 to the Eton Elite Executive. I have it on Radio Nacional de Amazonia, but man, a lot of noise on the signal. I'll go plug it into the long wire later and see what it sounds like. It sounds like there may be some type of game being announced or something. Alright, let's try the Eton Elite Executive. Same frequency. So just picking up whatever that noise source is as well. Let's go back to the E10. Back to the Eton Elite. Coming a little clearer on this one, but this does have multiple bandwidths to select. Let's try WRMI and see how that sounds.
Now they have
Here we go, 9455 WRMI from Okeechobee.
Yeah, blackmail. That's what it is. That's exactly what they're doing.
Some kind of talk show. Still got some
under the guise of their
static atmospheric noise there.
They go around murdering little children, shooting them in the head.
Fairly strong signal I normally get here in Texas.
Let's
try that on the
that's bullshit if there ever was a lie. That's a lie.
Elite Executive.
Now then. These trees, your corporate name, your personal last name is the beast name, your last name is the beast name. Never give your last name. Always say you're from the House of Smith or the House of Jones or whatever it is. Never say that you're
still hear the atmospheric noise there as well.
What? Okay, always do it that way.
Like I said, I like the speaker sound on this one. Like I said, it may not be as great of a DX machine, but just in my experience, it's not quite as sensitive as the G5 and G3, but just a little step below that. I would maybe put these two comparable, or maybe the Eton just a little bit above it, but this really isn't bad as well. Let's see if I could find any other frequency to check. All right, here's Radio Educación from Mexico, 6185 kilohertz. This comes in fairly well here as well, and in Texas, but definitely would be better with the external antenna. Still kind of a lot of fading atmospheric noise. Let's see what it sounds like on the Eton. So still not the strongest signal. You can hear the music a little better. Let's see what that sounds like on this. Like I said, I think the speaker in here is better. It just may not be quite as sensitive of a receiver. Again, this also does not have single sideband. So let's see if maybe I could find one other station to compare. Here's WRMI again on 5850, and after a while you'll memorize these frequencies. I think this sounds like the wave scan program, which is very interesting. Try to catch that when I can.
In the Seychelles was inaugurated in Victoria on
pretty good. Just on the lip.
And this was followed in mid-2004 with the installation of two additional accommodations at 5 stage
the Eton. Yeah, that may be the one thing about the Eton. I think the speaker, for the same size, I think the G5, G3 had a better sounding speaker.
The date eventually chosen was Saturday, March 29th, 2014, although their theory on some stations for the local population remain on air to this day to the BBC African service, downlinked from satellite.
Like I said, I like WRMI. They have a lot of interesting programming. I've been watching Polish radio, or listening to Polish radio a fair bit. They have some interesting programming. It's back again to the E10.
That's right. Next week we'll begin a football walk at the Indonesia story. That country celebrates 100 years of radio broadcasting. Just a quick follow-up to our report last week about funding cuts to public radio and TV in the United States. President Trump signed the bill into law.
Yeah, and one last thing I'd like to mention about the Eton E10, when I had posted a video about it, as someone mentioned that, hey, that really looks similar to the Tecsun PL-660. So here's a picture of one on my iPad from the Radio J. Allen website. It looks like it's from a review he had done on it, but you know, they are pretty similar. Power buttons here. It's like the this is timer A, timer B. So on the E10, it's a lock button, so some of the features look like they've changed, but it still has the same kind of curved front case design. You know, the 1 through 9, memory. This is memory. 0 enter. This is a battery, where this says time set, charge, and system. You know, so it looks like these bottom buttons are allocated to something different. So again, on these Eton radios, they normally have the up, down, search, slew buttons, whereas the Texans have this the page and the ATS buttons. So I guess maybe sort of similar, but not exactly the same. It's like this has an airband, SSB, synchronous detection, FM stereo, AM bandwidth. So this, again, the E10 does not have synchronous detection or SSB or airband on it. It has some other. So I guess there are some differences in the functionality of the switches, but it looks like the layout, front case design of the radios are very similar. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're using the same case design, and I guess how Tecsun and Eton may have had some type of arrangement for why the cases look so similar. Don't know the details into that. If anybody knows, let me know. Again, the back of the radios look kind of eerily similar here. Look at the battery drawing placement. Looks like pretty much the same. The wording's a little bit different. Both flip out, have information on the back. Looks like on this side, the Tecsun radio has the tuning knob at the top, but then it doesn't have this antenna trim. That's the single sideband BFO, and then the volume at the bottom, similar to the Eton E10. And on the opposite side, the Tecsun again has the FM shortwave external antenna, same as here. DX local normal, same as on the E10. Tone, bass, treble, same thing. Headphone jack and power. So I mean that's all similar. Look at even the screw. I think that's a screw hole. Carry strap. Yeah, so the cases definitely are similar. So again, this is from the radiojallen.com website. So again, really excellent reviews he's done on a lot of shortwave radios. So check it out. But yeah, so for the Eton E10, that was the unboxing, going through some of the features and checking the whip out on some stations compared to the Eton Elite Executive. So hope this was interesting. Let me know what other questions, comments you may have about the radio. So I paid $30. It was a little bit more with tax and whatever else I had to pay, but despite its flaws, I really like the E10. If I could get another one cheaply, I would probably do that. Like I said, the speaker sounds good. I guess I did try it on FM and AM. The speaker sounds good, and would also recommend this radio as well if you could find it, one in good shape and not too many problems. So that's it. Thanks for watching, listening. If found the video interesting to you, give it a thumbs up and like the channel. Appreciate it. Aloha.